Shannon Balenciaga with Culture Couturé Podcast. You guys, we are here in the month of March, Pisces season,
You hear
and
me?
my birthday. I love it. So guys, we got a special treat for you guys today. We got my special gentleman, my co-host Kalan, and we're gonna have fun and talk about all the juicy things that is going on in Hollywood right now. So, Kaylin, what's going on?
What's up, man? I'm good, Shannon. Thank you so much for having me. Yet again, I'm always honored to be on the podcast. And it's a special month for me because guess what? We're both Pisces season. You hear me? March 18th is coming up and we're going to celebrate. You understand? Your boy is going to be 40. Yeah. And no, I'm going to be 43 and I'm excited about it.
I'm 43 too on
Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh my God.
I love it. Let's do it.
It's the 43. It's the year of the fours. So, guys, we're going to jump right into it because it's so much we got to talk about. The first thing we want to talk about, we want to send our condolences to Angie Stone, family, friends, fans, and loved ones. It is such a heartbreaking thing to just imagine that we woke up today to hear such a living legend gone, an icon. At first, one of the very first female Black R&B and neo soul singer, Angie Stone. The first of many things, the one, just the voice of our generation, a voice of our soundtrack. And we're going to miss her. She just performed a performance and she was on the way to Baltimore for the CIAA. It is truly a woman who has lived and did God's work on her terms to the bitter end. We send you love, Angie Stone.
We agree, man. We send, she holds a special place in my heart, and I think in most Black men's heart because she gave us an anthem, right? She talked about the Black brother, and in so many ways we're demonized and we're vilified, and she made sure to uplift us and to speak life into us and create arguably one of our most commercial records that went far and beyond. But its impact, it was felt, and so Angie, we love you, dear sister. Shout out and condolences to her family, to her friends, all of us who are her fans. Gosh, like life is so fragile. So, I took my hat off out of respect, and she will be sorely missed.
Amen. Amen. So we're going to spin the block. We're going to get right into it. Spinning the block.
Let's do it.
Baby, we have to get down to the fashion, to the red carpet, all the juicy tidbits from the NAACP and the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right into it. Kaylin, tell me, who did you think at the NAACP was your favorite?
So my favorite this is Tiana, man. Tiana, she every time Tiana steps out, and that's Tiana Taylor. She's not new to this. She's true to this. We've seen her, develop from 13, 14 years old all the way into a mother, a mogul. Unfortunately, her marriage dissolved, but I'm glad she's bounced back and she's healing, and the kids are doing fantastic, and she's doing what she's done. There's no look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think she gets enough global credit for what she does in terms of fashion because she has been edgy and on the fringes of it and innovative in terms of her fashion since day one, right? She always keeps it hood and keeps it in New York, but there's, in some fashion, and she did the exact same thing on the red carpet, man. She was my absolute favorite without a doubt. I'm a big fan of her art and her work and her fashion.
And let's give her a shout out. She has a collection with Victoria's Secret. That is major.
And
I think what it's about Tiana, and I have a personal story with her. And that side note, I tip my hat to her because we did the Love Ball a few years ago. Okay. And all the celebrities, Mary J. Blige, Shadida Von Teese, everybody was in attendance. But the only celebrity that came back and actually spoke to us because we were talent for the event was Tiana. She came in the room, gave us hugs, showed us love, and I truly appreciate that. She's always A1. And speaking to what you were stating, she's very androgynous.
Very much so.
She's one of the ladies that plays with that masculine femininity and does it, but still has her womanness. The femininity about her still shines through, even when it's hard and masculine. And I love it. And I'm gonna tell you, I think what really caps it off, because another celebrity that's in that same boat with her is Keke Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about when a Black woman has a child that gives her confidence, peace, and her body starts rocking.
Mm-hmm.
And those two ladies are chef's kiss in the Black Hollywood right now.
Agreed.
So we're going to talk about DoeChii.
Let's do it.
DoeChii. We've been talking about her since the inception of Culture Couture. Inc., I wish she was here to talk about her now. And I stated she's going to be Hollywood's darling. I cannot wait to see what she do at the Met Gala. But they are starting when the fashion industry gets a hold to her. You can start seeing her transformation. She has the it factor. She just needed the image. And they are giving it to her. She did a phenomenal job at the D Square Fashion Show. And it's something I wish I could get up. I forgot to go get it. Oh, I got to get it. Y'all pause it for a second. Caitlin, go to talk about it. I'll be right back.
So I tell you, while Shannon's coming back, I tell you what, first of all, shout out to D Squared. 30 years in the game, 30 years in the business. You know, they say that they were born in Canada, but raised in Italy in terms of the fashion. You know, what they've done for streetwear and what they've done for regular wear and all Black, like stuff like that. Like, that's crazy. Perfect timing. Like what D Squared has done has been nothing short of phenomenal. They aren't fully on the edge like a Rick Owens, or fully avant-garde like a Rick Owens, but man, are they quality. Man, the designs are fantastic. And it translated absolutely perfectly with DoeChii because she's that chick.
They are truly what D Squared is. They're the number one streetwear brand of all of them because it's let me break it down to you guys. Milan has the best fashion of any place in the world. The quality, because their family is tight knit, they produce the best stuff. This is why the Canadian boys do all their work in Italy, because the quality. And they have always gave some of the most fun, innovative, just because this is an icon. They brought this shoe back. And I'm one of the lucky people that still have my shoes back from 2011.
Those legendary skates. 2011. 30 years. Epic. Let's see if I can steal the sample size. We're in a meeting. Not now. Who all in favor of bringing these bitches back? K-Moss. Limited edition. Come back. They're ready. The children of today are ready for her.
Baby, you can't beat this. The quality is amazing. And yes, I can rock them. And I was the first one in Atlanta with them. Hey, thank you so much, Dean and Dan, for y'all love, because I saw y'all gave me love back on my post. Thank you so much. But anyway, but I love how they've been influenced by the Black African American culture, because that's what it is. And not a lot of designers actually give back to the Black community. They've always had Black models in their productions and their advertising and things of that nature. So they've been influenced by us, but yet they have not excluded us. And I always will give praises to them. So yes, it was a wonderful thing to have DoeChii and JT, and DoeChii is taking JT up.
Yep.
I wish JT needs the confidence. You could just see it's just not there yet. Naomi Campbell, fierce icon, beautiful. Tyson Beckford to NLE Chopper.
Yep.
And Michaela, hey, his stylist, my good girlfriend. I'm so proud of her to see that she took a step out from going from Neiman Marcus to leaving her career from them and styling him. And look what it has taken her. I commend her for him allowing her to believe that she can create and cultivate his image. And they're doing phenomenal work. So shout out to my sister. It was just so many Black people there. It was really the kickoff, the end of Black History Month. Phenomenal.
It was, and let's. How about this, Shannon? This is something you and I know. We just told everybody that we about to be 43 years old, and damn it, we both look good. How about Black Not Cracking on that stage? Naomi Campbell looking like the Naomi Campbell that we've always seen, and she just doesn't age. Tyson Beckford came out from out of nowhere and looking the exact same chiseled, young fella that we've seen for him for 25 years. It was absolutely stunning to kind of see sort of a changing of the guard from those two icons, Tyson being the first ever male supermodel to have that tag, and then the supermodel.
To Ulta Mason.
Yeah, to Ulta Mason, absolutely.
He's the next, and we haven't had, and this is how sad the industry is. We had Will LeMay, but he has a Latin descent and black and mixing things, and he's still black. But there really hasn't been a dark-skinned black man who has dominated the fashion industry until Ulta. And I love it. So
Agreed.
We really need more black people to really shine in all these different spaces.
Indeed. So it was a beautiful spectacle to see. And I agree with you. DoeChii, she is who she is. And I can't wait to see how, people have tried to make the comparisons to the Rihannas and things of that nature. She's in her own lane. And that's what's beautiful about it, to see her do her thing.
And I'm a lover of house music. And
Same.
I think DoeChii is the more palatable Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks could have had all of this.
I like that.
Azalea Banks could have had all of this, but it's this, her mouth.
Yeah.
She had the fashion industry before we even knew who she was.
She did.
She had it all, and she threw it away. But it is what it is. Sometimes, all company ain't good company.
Listen.
Moving on from that.
Yeah, I hear you. We'll keep going. I love it.
A huge thank you to BET and the AYARS agency for the invite, and to Shemaya Morton for hosting such a beautiful event. It was an amazing gathering of talent, culture, and celebration. Kudos and congratulations to the entire cast and crew. You all delivered something truly special. Make sure to tune in and support Pound for Pound tomorrow, and while you're at it, don't forget to glow up with Anaga Luxury Skincare.
So we're going to get into the icebreaker.
Let's do it.
Icebreaker. Baby, it's chilly over here. The icebreaker question that I have for you, Kalan, and those who are watching CCP, because we want you to get into these comments. We want you to tell us what you think and just really, truly just dive into it. So the icebreaking question. You my hove today.
Okay.
Is Bonnie and Clyde's love a thing of the past, or do we still see it now?
So I think we still see it now. I think it shows up differently. To me, so we know what the original reference of Bonnie and Clyde, they was gangsters doing some stuff and they held each other down, right? Through thick and thin. I think holding each other down, number one, I feel like any relationship, specifically black relationship that lasts in the public eye, is a Bonnie and Clyde relationship because they're black in the public eye in America. Just the things you just said, right, Shannon? You look at people's like, I say people's, wow. The people in couples like the Washingtons, Pauletta and Denzel, right? They haven't necessarily been in any trouble, none, but they've been a model couple and he has supported her career on stage and she supported his career on film and directing, right? And so I feel like that, then you look at the ASAP Rocky all the way to now, the ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, and how he jumped in her arms after the not guilty. Shout out to him for now guilty. I think it's still here. I think it has changed. You look at Gucci Mane and Keisha. She held that boy down and grew his empire. Grew the money, didn't take the money, put it in his name, built it, and he came back out and flipped it even higher. So I think it's still here on that level. People still got some work to do because if I see one more balloon popping bullshit ass trying to build a relationship on that stuff, I think it's a mockery of what relationships can be. But I think they're still here. We gotta protect them.
Well, let's keep it real. The reason why we see this Bonnie and Clyde glorified because 9 times out of 10, most people haven't had really genuine, great role models to look at and examples. So I think Bonnie and Clyde is still around, unfortunately, because it's no different than the bad girl and the bad boy. This is what Bonnie and Clyde is. The two bad people get together. And do I glorify it? No. The ASAP Rocky, and I spoke about this before, the ASAP Rocky and Rihanna thing, I think that let's keep it a buck. ASAP Rocky and them used Rihanna to win the case. Y'all, we're not going to sugarcoat this to win this case. You shot your friend. It's no different than Remy Ma. But this is where the sad part about how our culture is. Yes, that was Los Angeles and that was New York. Would this have been the verdict if this was in New York? No, it wouldn't have. I think that ASAP Rocky I think it was disgusting to use it, but hey, you do whatever you need to, but it's just the truth. You use your family, your children to win your case. But yet, let me tell you this, y'all, as somebody who's been in the system, he might have won today, but he won't win tomorrow because he's going to have this complex about him and that he's going to think he's untouchable. Rihanna saved you. A Black woman saved you. But Black women always having to save Black men, unfortunately. And he used that to his advantage. But there's going to come a time when that relationship is over. This is why they haven't gotten married. I got a little tidbit. This is the reason why they haven't got married. She's very smart. She's allegedly a billionaire. And she's protecting her money. She's protecting her money, her assets, from his frivolous behavior. And it's just the truth. Because nobody's paying attention to ASAP Rocky. Let's keep it a buck. I've never paid attention to him. I think that he is no different than Offset and Cardi B. Nobody cares about Offset. It's Cardi B. So when Cardi B and him is no longer together, he's going to go by the wayside. It's no different than Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. These Black men, they start off as bad boys, but you get older and the bad boy syndrome ends and you fade away. And I'm going to say it here and I'm going to say it now.
I'm going to be honest. I take exception to the Whitney and Bobby conversation in comparison rather because, you know, to me, it diminishes the impact that Bobby had, number one. And the success. You can't compare the levels of success.
But that was success in the Black community. It wasn't globally.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Their success.
No. No. So what I'm saying is, hear me out. I'm not saying the success. You can't compare the success. You cannot. But the impact that he had, you can't diminish his, right? And additionally, some of the troubles that they had, as we found out later, were not his fault. And were not upon him. He was trying to keep shit together because of her bad habits. Hold on. Before you finish, that she picked up from Sissy, right? Right? And so
she picked up from her brothers.
And her brothers too, for sure. So what I'm saying is, I'm just like you're gonna fiercely protect Black women, just like I do. I'm gonna fiercely protect Black men when it's time to. And I think that we have to be careful in casting a little bit or a lot of the blame or the fallout of whatever on dear brother Bobby, man, because it wasn't all homeboy fault.
Okay, so I didn't say that. So let me make this very clear. I love Black men. I love Black men to a fault, and we always, but nobody wants to give us our props. We as Black women do protect Black men. We actually protect Black men more than we protect our own selves and Black women. So we put that on the floor first.
I agree.
When I say about the Bobby Brown, let me tell you, I don't blame Bobby Brown for Whitney Houston's drug problems. Do you know what I blame Bobby Brown for? Because as a man should not bring any type of harm to a woman in her household. And this is where I blame Bobby Brown at. He had all these different women, all these different children, doing all this stuff that caused her anguish because you're such a global star, and he was trying to put her in her place and diminish who she was to make her smaller than what he could never be. And he was jealous of that. And those are the type of men, ladies, that you have to run away from. The ASAP Rockies, the Offsets, the Bobby Brown, they're all the same. They don't want a woman bigger than them. And we're too busy, when you know that God is making you bigger, you're too busy trying to diminish yourself to love them when God is telling you something else. Here I go preaching again, but it's just the truth. We have seen it. History repeats itself. History would tell us, and we always keep doing that, and we always want to try to run to the fire to put our hands on the stove. God has already told us, bitch, go the other way.
Not God saying bitch.
Yes, you got to get hit upside the head sometimes, and people don't learn until the end. But You know, it happens to the best of us. And then we're here book and stuff later and they'll talk about it and all that big event.
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm sick of I don't want to hear it because you should have been got rid of it. But that's what I blame. I don't blame Bobby Brown for Whitney Houston's issues. I blame him as a man. He should have protected this woman. He should have been her peace and not the anguish. That's all. That's why I blame him. But anyway, we're gonna move away. We're gonna move on from that because we do have great men out here in the world.
Indeed.
Hey Denzel. Hey Will Smith. Will Smith is a real one. Let me tell you what a real man does. A real man gets up and slap another black man in the face at the Oscars when he disrespects his woman. That's what I want to see more of. And I don't want to see black people sitting up there talking about, oh, he shouldn't have did this. This was wrong. But when you get in certain rooms, like, forget them room and forget those people. They sit and make millions of dollars, billions of dollars off of our black tails sitting up here acting a fool. But then you go to the Oscars and do the same thing. You make billions of dollars off and then y'all feel some type of way. Every reality show y'all watch, Housewives, Married to Medicine, to Zeus and all these different things, but yet you get and do something and soap operas and something that's real and y'all have a problem with it. It's very hypocritical and contradictory. And this is why kids do the things they do because y'all make no sense. Okay?
But hold on, here, real quick. Listen, shout out to all the strong black men who are holding it down, and my dear brothers who need to need a lesson in leadership.
Brother, I love
Come on,
you.
Angie. Listen, and to my fellas who need a little swift kick in the butt, man. Listen, let's just get it together, man, and continue to uplift our communities and our families. Well, I love love so much that I remarried my wife of 16 years yet again. Shout out to you, baby. We just
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
It was fabulous. If y'all haven't seen it, go over to Kalan's Instagram and see the video. It's very cute. So, guys, we're going to break down the roundtable discussion about comedian Godfrey.
Man, take my glass off.
Exposed late Uncle Phil and called for being gay. You guys, this is the topic today about individual exposing or so-called allegedly exposing individuals' sexualities after they have died or they're still here. So, Kalan, tell me, how do you feel about this? So what? Who cares if he's gay? First of all, our dear brother, Uncle Phil, is not here to confirm nor deny, but who cares? Who cares? It has no impact on what he represented. It has no impact on the character that he was. It has no impact on the father that he represented that a lot of us wanted to be. It has no impact on anything. So who cares? Now, what I will say, because listen, you and I have been here a little while. They've been saying that for years, for decades that he was him and Carl Winslow. And but it took fire. Who cares? This is my thing about it all. We got to stop talking about people as if it changes who they are or what it was. Okay, if he was gay, okay, cool. He still was Uncle Phil. If he wasn't gay, okay, cool. He still was Uncle Phil. It doesn't matter. It does not change the impact that he had, the show had. Everybody who's on the show will take a bullet for him. They ride for him as a person and as an actor. And it really incensed me. Now, I do want to give Godfrey his props because after listening, because I saw the bite first, the sound bite first, and then I went back and listened to the whole thing. I don't think he was trying to be malicious. I think he just was trying to be like, oh my God, wow, he is. But the way he communicated it, was trash. And then he tried to do the whole walk it back thing a couple years later.
Go and try to analyze. I wanted to explain it a little bit, but also throw an apology out there to James Avery and his family and fans too. So that's what I want to do because I always believe in holding myself accountable. Hey man, I call people out too. And I even said it. Hey man, if I'm doing something wrong, we all got to call each other out. We all got to call each other out, especially as a community of our folks, black folks. We all got to call each other out and everybody else too. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I'm authentic. I'm an authentic person. I'm not perfect. And if I feel like too many people have been hurt by that, I appreciate you guys calling me out. So I want to apologize. All right? Peace.
okay, cool, you take accountability. I appreciate the accountability, but are you at least trying to take the accountability? But why even bring it up? Who cares? Nobody cares. It doesn't change.
But as a so-called heterosexual man, if he is, why is that any of your business?
That's what I'm saying. Who cares?
So it leads to me that when people do these things, I don't look at what they're saying. I look at them. You're deflecting. Are you in the closet? That's the question. Talk about yourself. Why are you worried about somebody else's sexuality, who they lay down in the bed to sleep with? But I also want to say, when you do pass away, I'm a big believer that you have to tell your own story, or somebody's going to tell it for you, in the public eye or not. And you don't want to leave this earth and allow somebody else to tell your story. At case in point, look at the Luther Vandross documentary. It was a great documentary, but it was a lot of fluff. It didn't give us the meat and potatoes. It's the same way with Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston never came out and said that she ever been with a woman or was a lesbian or bisexual or anything. But yet, look what all the tabloids and the movies and the documentaries after that. Luther, you don't get to be famous and use the public and make money and stuff and die and people not know the full you. They didn't know the full you before you died. You gotta expect this is what's going to happen. This is history. You learn people. You learn why people do things. You use your life to evolve society, because people can see and be able to relate to someone who is more popular and famous before they can relate to someone who is not. So you have to, God uses you as a vessel in that way. So I think he was wrong. That was not his place, because you wasn't doing it in a way that you're trying to educate or uplift, because it looks like you had a disdain for the LGBT community. So people have to be very mindful about what they say and what place they come from. And so he did apologize, but what do you need to apologize for? You said what you said. Move on. Stand in it. I think we also need the people stand in it. You could have said, I didn't mean, well, I don't need an apology. It is what it is. I'm going to leave it at that, because his stick is not geared towards me. So move on.
Why wait to give her roses when you can give her radiance? This Mother's Day, celebrate her beauty with Anaga's newest luxury skincare collection, designed to nourish, illuminate, and indulge her skin every single day. Because she deserves more than just a moment of appreciation, she deserves to shine. Always. Give her the gift of glow. Anaga luxury that loves her back.
We're going to break down Black-owned business. Let's spin the block into something so much more important than talking about somebody who might be still in the closet, allegedly. Black-owned businesses. Is it really Black-owned, or are we overutilizing the word? Tell me, Kalan, how do you feel about the marketing? Do you really think that we're Black-owned, or it's time for us to elevate this meaning and our progressiveness in our culture?
I'm all for Black-owned businesses. I'm all for Black-owned as a tag. I think we have to understand. It takes a little bit of education to understand business as a whole, right? You talk about, let's keep it entertainment, right? For a second, you talk about things like record labels and stuff like that, but you have to realize who is really at the helm of these record labels, right? Especially back in the days of when the record label was something to really be revered and want, the Def Jams and all these things, right? I think that we have to really be clear on what it is we're trying to own. We take it to today's time with NAACP honoring the Wayans brothers.
I just want to say that we would not be here, standing here, if it wasn't for our big brother, Keenan Ivory Wayans. Yeah. So on behalf of the Wayans family, we want to thank him first and foremost. We'd like to also thank God, please God, our parents, our family, Fulton Projects, NAACP for this historic award. And last but not least, thanks you to fans You rock with us, and we rock with you, and this is for the culture always. Thank you. Thank you.
They are a black-owned business, right? They literally did. They literally took the studio and the middleman out of everything they were doing to create their content, right? Shout out to Keenen Ivory Wayans and leading the helm of all of that. You look at but you also look at kind of black owned and got to realize that we don't also have the full share of the pie. So you look at what happened with Isaac Hayes III and him trying to raise all this money, during the time Clubhouse started to pop off and the fan base, which is what he's developed, started to pop off with the black version of it. And he's just now raising the kind of money. What are we, 6 years later or so? Now he just raised was $9.7 million. But then he gets into a tiff with another black creator that now invalidates what you say you're trying to do with black owned, right?
So Isaac Hayes III, the founder of Fanbase, recently got $5.2 million of crowdfunding money for his app. And instead of him using that money and growing his business, he is beefing with another creator online. Not just any creator, a black woman creator. He is trying to dog walk her online, and it is not going well for him. What's up, guys? It's your girl T, your PR priestess here, always preaching that PR gospel. And let's talk about why it is important to have a personal brand. This is a perfect example. So we were talking about Isaac Hayes III, the founder. He is currently online beefing with Miss Franchesca Ramsey, the TV writer, producer, actress, and she is very funny and slick with the tongue.
But the narrative of misogyny and attacking black women is just simply not true.
Hey, Isaac, apology not accepted. Because part of an apology requires you to take responsibility for your actions. And it's very clear that you just want to make excuses. But again, I love receipts. And here we go, right here. You taking shots at a black woman's appearance because she dared to say, hey, focus on your app and getting it together so that it can compete with TikTok and Instagram. You've had it for over a decade. It should work better than this. And your response was, you can't spell and you have on too much foundation. What does her looks have to do with her criticisms of your app? It's also so convenient that when you talk about crossing the line, you don't get specific in what it was that you did in response to me critiquing your behavior. I'll get specific. You shared a photo, a 10-plus-year-old photo of me and my ex-husband on my wedding day to suggest that I'm not black enough because my ex-husband is white. And then when people rightfully called you on your misogyny, you said, oh, I can't be a misogynist. I campaigned for Kamala Harris. Which is interesting because if my white ex-husband negates my blackness, then how does that work with Kamala Harris and her white husband? Make it make sense. I will also say that it's quite telling that this non-apology focuses so much on your intentions and how your character was maligned and how dangerous it was for you. And not once did you talk about how dangerous it was for me when you chose to share multiple images of me on your TikTok, on your Instagram, and on Threads, and on Twitter with this caption, not like us. So, apology not accepted. Absolutely not.
So I'm like if we're gonna be black owned, let's be black owned, and let's own the title. But let's also do what we have to do to make sure that we're self-sustaining, and not shoot ourselves in the foot by trying to go after other people. So shout out to the Wayans for because they've never done it. They've been true to it, to their brand, even with the little beef going on right now between Marlon and Soulja Boy's beef, right? Marlon ain't taking this seriously. He's not. He's having fun making content because he's Marlon Wayans. He's royalty. And Soulja Boy, go on, brother. Like, go and make your money, do your thing. But he's staying true to his brand and keeping it funny, keeping it lighthearted, not taking any major shots, trying to take any money out of Soulja Boy's pocket. Whereas Isaac Hayes, bro, what you doing? Like, why are you doing that to our dear sister? Don't do that, man.
I commend, thank you to the NAACP for giving the Wayans family the Hall of Fame award, because they truly have revolutionized our Black culture in TV spaces. They have done phenomenal. If I'm not mistaken, they might have done $1 billion in TV and box office together. I don't think that they are given their just dues as much as they should. I think it's time for a reboot of In Living Color. I would love that. The same way that they did 50 years of SNL, we should have a In Living Color reunion. Let's think about that. They always want to try to go back and do something. I think it'd be phenomenal. But I also think that, and this is where it comes when Black folks own things, I think it hasn't been done so far because Keenen Ivory Wayans refuses to allow them to water down the Black experience. And he was phenomenal at getting crazy talent. Like this man, Jim Carrey.
Yep.
He is like, and it's just like Bill Cosby. Some Black men have been instrumental in giving us some of the best talent because nobody else was checking for them. They have put on so many great people in our space of entertainment, and we commend them for doing that.
Listen, I mean, we absolutely commend them. And
Yes.
so, you know, they've put on so many iconic people. Here's where we as Black folks, what we do so well. We don't give a damn about who you are as long as you dope, right? And
Yes.
so, and that's what he did. They were dope, so they put him on. They gave him shots and opportunity. We don't have Jamie Foxx. We don't have Jamie Foxx. We don't have freaking Jamie Foxx without the Wayans brothers. You know what I mean?
David Allen Greer.
David Allen Greer.
Oh my God.
Tommy
so
Davidson.
Many,
Yes.
so many good talented.
Yeah.
And so with Isaac Hayes Jr. for me, with Francesca, it's really sad to see a Black man. Here we go again. We go back to it, how we as Black women protect Black men, but here's a Black man not protecting a Black woman in her space. And it's really sad that I know it's hard as a business owner. It's so hard for us in many ways. But we have to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing. He is doing phenomenal. Sometimes I think we want stuff so fast and so soon because we look at our white counterparts and we think success is only one way, but success is a multitude of ways that can be achieved. And nothing worthwhile comes overnight. And he is pushing it too hard, too soon. And that's the wrong messaging. People are not now. Let's keep it a buck, y'all. I think that he will never be successful. I think he has cut his hand off before it too soon. I think he would, in order for the platform to really, he has to sell or become a solid partner. And I think that they need to bring in several people that can be the face of the brand. And he has to go ghost. Otherwise, I'm just going to call it. I'm going to call it now. I don't think it's going to ever be successful just because he did that. But wait, but we're going to wrap this up. We're going to do the work. This part of our segment, we want to give honor. I know Black History is over with, but because we did a blackout, and I want to congratulate all of us. It was hard, but we made it. We made it, y'all. We made it. It was so hard. We need to continue to do the work. Let's get together and we're going to do this again. We're going to show them that our dollars are important. You want to lay people off, stop spending your money, stop spending, stop shopping. We're going to cut it out and they're going to start treating us better. Mm-hmm. So at this point, we're going to talk about the new CEO of Red Lobster and saving the company from bankruptcy. How do you feel, Kalan, about here's a Black man? This is a great story for you. We got something good for the Black man.
Because Shannon, you be trying to come for us, man. But no, listen, I'm super excited about what Brother DA has done, man. I don't want to mess up his name, so I'm gonna call him DA because what he has done, transforming First PF Chains into it was a failing brand. And now you look at, when I was looking at one of the interviews, he was talking about how he was responsible. One of the things he was most proud of from fixing PF Chains was the look of it. He had to give it a little bit more zhuzh, a little bit more, sauce, no pun intended. And now he's working with Red Lobster. And I love that.
Red Lobster. So, the PF Chang's deal went well. And, it won me some plaudits in the industry. because it was difficult, right? And we made it happen. And then after that, I connected with the folks who had lent money to Red Lobster before the company went bankrupt. So they were in line to own it coming out of bankruptcy. It's a good group called Fortress. And so they asked me first to consult, to provide advice. Like, you just spent 4 years running a business that was in distress, similar to this. What do you think of this situation? So I was advising them at first, and then it turned into they asked me to come run it. Basically, I presented a plan. They were like, "We like your plan. Please come execute it for us." Right. So I took over as CEO coming out of bankruptcy in September. And that's what we've been doing.
Red Lobster has a special place in my heart because, first of all, growing up in the 80s and 90s, that's where you wanted to go. If y'all went to Red Lobster, your family had a little money, or you was trying to show out, or take your little, your little date or whatever, to get you some Cheddar Bay biscuits. Prom, all of it, right? And then in college, I worked there for almost 2 years as a server. And so it was a lot of fun. And I actually saw some iterations change. I was there long enough for it to be a family restaurant where we had all the fish and stuff on the short sleeves. You could wear shorts to work till it became a white linen restaurant, right? And so they tried to do that, and it couldn't sustain this stuff. But what he's done, when you look at some of the things that he's done, is talk about the marketing and really get the messaging out, because people think it's low quality food. What I learned from one of his interviews was that all lobster and crab you can't farm it. It has to be fresh caught in this country. So Red Lobster is responsible for 25% of the crab and lobster that is caught in this country. And so it is fresh catch, but we've always been saying, well, that's not, it ain't fresh, and it's not all this. It's just not true, right? And so seeing what he's done, putting his black magic on it, man, his sauce on it, I think is incredible. I can't wait to see where the franchise goes. I have noticed a lot of them have closed down, but you got to cut your losses first in order to maximize profit. So I'm excited to see. And then he's young. Like, when you think CEO, you thinking 50, 70, 60, 70, somebody who's been around. The brother is young, right? He's young. He's out here doing his thing, and I love it.
That should be the question. You think he's young to be a CEO? I think that's where a lot of companies fail, when you keep older people around versus getting some young, fresh eyes in the boardroom. The company to interject some of that newness that's out there. You're more on the pulse of what's going on,
Right.
that to try to, this is how I'm gonna give you an example. Mercedes-Benz started 10 years ago introducing so many different classes because they're trying to get the younger crowd in there so they can keep that brand going. So I'm going to talk about my company.
Let's do it.
I know y'all sick of me, baby. Beyonce and Sacred with Mama Tina. I want to congratulate them on their 1 year birthday anniversary, as well as April of 2025. Beyonce struck a deal with Ulta to have her hair care line in every store. That is phenomenal.
Yes, it is. That's amazing.
She is truly a boss bitch. She continued to keep making moves and keep showing us what it means to move in silence, but also to don't have all your eggs in one basket. I love what she's teaching us, and people are they're sleeping on it. If you don't have the money to buy it, it's okay. We'll see you at Cowboy Carter Tour starting April the 28th. Ooh, I can't wait, I'm excited. But and it's so funny because it's a year later. You remember a year ago, Beyonce and her team sent me over a PR box of Sacred. I love it. It's a phenomenal product. It's no lie, not trying to sell y'all on anything, because I also now have my own hair care products, shampoos and conditioner and stuff. Check them out on Alka Luxury Skincare. But the products are phenomenal. I love it. Some of my favorite items. So they have a win-win product on their hands. So we want to congratulate them. You guys go support and do the work. Black-owned business. Do the work.
So, but even with Black-owned business, I like to not necessarily throw a curveball, but talk about Black-led businesses too as well, right? Or businesses who are led by Black people, and how we promote the business and make it thrive and make it a lot better, right?
As long as they supporting the Black communities.
Right.
Because you can have Black-led people, but yet, and i.e., let's talk about it. Pharrell Williams over at the LVMH. He's the only Black man.
Yeah.
We go back to that. I'm not Black. I'm not bashing y'all Black men, but I got to call. He's the only Black man. You don't see no other Black people.
Well, we see. Well, yeah.
But I ain't gonna.
Well, we don't get to see all the designers.
I'm getting ready to apply. I'm getting ready to apply for it. I got the thing. I'm getting ready to apply. Please don't cut me because I'm saying this. Cut me from the grant. Please don't cut me. But I'm calling a spade a spade. Support this Black business and Naga Luxury Skincare.
I love it. I love it. But but there is an ugly side to it too. And back to your question about ownership, right? I think we have to take accountability as Black-owned businesses to make sure that we operate with integrity, to make sure that we operate within the standard that's going to continue to push the narrative that we do have great products, we provide wonderful service, we have ethical practices and pricing, right? Things of that nature. And so, as long as we continue to do that and we change that narrative, man, listen, I mean, regardless, I'm going to forever support Black business. Shout out to Art of Homage, a Black business is what I'm wearing right now. And so I think it's amazing. But we have to own, Black-owned businesses have to own the title of Black-owned business to make sure that we promote Black-owned businesses the way our Black-owned business need to be promoted. I'm Black, y'all.
Baby. And that is our episode. Thank you, guys. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Tell us what you think. Give us some suggestions. Come show us all the love because we love doing this for you guys. And you guys, make sure you follow Culture Couturé Podcast on Instagram. Follow me and Kalan on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, the Culture Couturé Podcast. And we love y'all, CCP. Mwah. Until next time. Toodles.